Welcome back to the channel. As one of the first in the USA to have bought and installed the big bore headers with cat delete for the Moto Guzzi V100, here are my final thoughts and conclusion. Let's start again with a little disclaimer. I do realize that this modification is rather expensive with the sum of all its parts involved, and it is completely unnecessary if you are happy with the stock system or prevented from doing this due to your local emission regulations. With that out of the way, let's take a look at the bare minimum to install this system. After many conversations with AF1 Racing, my preferred Moto Guzzi shop, for the past 3 years, you can run the headers and catalytic converter delete without any tuning and utilize the stock muffler. You can listen to the end result in my stock versus aftermarket slip-on comparison video. However, it is recommended when doing this modification to get a tune for the motorcycle, as the flow characteristics from stock have changed rather substantial. The good news is that UpMap at this point has a lot of options available, from the basic combo of header with stock muffler, as well as quite a few choices for different aftermarket slip-ons. As there is currently no tune available for my specific combo and headers with the Mistral slip-on, I flashed my bike with the header and stock muffler tune. On a side note, all the tunes currently offered are curated by my #1 Moto Guzzi tuner Moto in Parma, Italy. So you know this was done by someone who works directly with Moto Guzzi and has been working exclusively on Moto Guzzis for a very long time. And yes, this modification will void your warranty if damage is done as a direct result of this tune. But given the Moto's long-standing reputation, I'm going with the chances are rather small for something to go sideways or negatively affect the bike long-term. Also worth mentioning is the fact that every tune for the headers will allow for a high-flow air filter, as it is already built into the tunes. The process with the UpMap flashing solution has been straightforward with no drama involved at all. As this was my first attempt in such a process, I did have some reservations, but in the end they were completely unwarranted. Basically, you connect the UpMap device via the provided cable to the bike's ODB port that is easily accessible under the seat. You definitely want to connect some sort of battery tender to the bike, as the process can take up to 30 minutes and you don't want to drain your battery in the process or worse, get the flashing interrupted. Once connected, everything is done via a phone that has the UpMap application installed. Initially, the bike's ECU is read, and based on what the device sees, it will show you which tuning maps are available for you. There's also an option to store your factory map, which I would highly recommend, as it enables you to reverse if needed at any point. On another side note, since my specific header and slip-on combo is currently not listed, AF1 Racing pointed out to me that pretty much any aftermarket slip-on combo tune will be fine, as they are all flowing pretty much the same. The actual flashing of the ECU with the new tune takes about 15 minutes. The application on your phone will guide you through the whole process. Initially, it will rewrite the ECU with the new tune and then prompt you to turn the bike off and on again to complete the process. And that is it. There will be a few warning lights and alarms during the flashing, but once you turn the bike off and on again, everything returns to normal. A painless and straightforward process with guidance from the application all the way that left no question marks or head scratching. So what do I have on my bike at this point? Obviously the big bore header with cat delete, complemented with a Mistral slip-on with no dB killer, a Sprint air filter, and of course the tuning solution to adjust the air and fuel for maximum performance. And no, this was not on the cheap side, but to me personally worth it, as it enhanced everything that I loved about the bike before. Yes, you do gain horsepower and torque. Each tuning map has a detailed descriptions with specific horsepower and torque numbers on the UpMap website. But more importantly, the throttle response improved quite a lot, and with no catalytic converter at play, the engine heat is reduced as well. I am not 100% sure what else the tune is addressing, but I will say that my quick shifter started to work a lot better. Not sure if that has something to do with the tune or the transmission just breaking in properly. When it comes to the stock muffler versus slip-on, for some reason I did not like how the stock muffler behaved under deceleration with the tune, hence I reverted back to the Mistral slip-on that has an overall deeper tone and is of course not looking as great as the stock muffler, but in the sound department it's, for me at least personally, a clear winner. Some viewers have asked about diesel pops. They are present even in stock form, just very muted with the stock muffler and factory catalytic converter combo. There is a big difference between sport mode, who does seem to enhance the pops, versus the road and touring mode, which will have some but not nearly as pronounced as in sport mode. With the header and slip-on combo, you're getting more pronounced pops even with the correct air-fuel ratio. So if that is not your thing, stay with the stock exhaust setup. I personally love the diesel pops. To me it is just part of the experience. And by the way, my new BMW M kinda does the same thing, rather quiet in road mode, but pop it into race mode and let the show begin. As I already mentioned, this was not a cheap modification and is more a want than a need or must. From a pure functional point of view, everything works as advertised, and so far, after a few weeks of riding, I have not seen any negative impacts. I will update if anything changes, but again, knowing that Guarashi brothers are responsible for the inner workings here has me confident that I will be enjoying this setup for the foreseeable future. As always, keep it on 2, be safe, and I will see you soon in the next one. Bye.